superstar Toni Braxton gets real about her family.
My sister I have the most conflict with is Trina.
Were you surprised that she picked you?
No, if I picked Toni.
All the conflicts.
Do you feel attacked by your sisters?
What?
Yes.
What?
All the secrets.
You can't go on Dr. Phil telling people business and they didn't tell him.
Are coming out.
I don't need to have kids to understand.
Do y'all go to next school and learn? Let's do it. If we're going to do something here that matters, then we got to deal with the truth.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
If I can help get this family back on track, are you willing to do that?
Ready, three. Take it.
This is going to be a changing day in your life. All right, all families have drama, right? Yeah. Especially if you're from a big one, big family. Who's here from a big family? Well, that's certainly true of my guest today. There are five, count them, 5 sisters with 5 husbands, 8 children, and tons of issues. Now, all 5 sisters are here today, and they say, hey, Dr. Phil, we need some help. But what makes them different than most is that we see this family every week on national television because they were famous before it started. Take a look.
There's plenty of drama in my family, and we could definitely get on each other's last nerves.
Y'all don't support nothing I do. My family does not support me. You and your couch and that horse that you just rode up in on. Every group you've been in failed because of that attitude of yours.
I'm Tracy. I left the music business entirely. Now I'm in Maryland living with my husband, my son, and my mother-in-law.
Maybe I need to see a psychiatrist.
Maybe. Boo.
You, Tamar.
I'm Tawanda, the middle sister. I have a husband, 2 beautiful kids, and I'm Toni Braxton's assistant.
Cover by lying.
I'll figure it out. Right. Listen to me.
I'm Trina. I'm a backup singer for Toni, and I sing in my own band. I also have marital problems, but I deal with them in my own way.
I'm making margaritas.
Let's just have a glass of wine.
I'm Tamar. I may be the baby of the family, but that does not mean I don't get to boss people around.
Why everybody so, let's just tone that down.
I can sing. Don't you remember that? Point blank period. I didn't know that. Now I know.
Well, that was just a little taste of the knockout hit reality series Braxton Family Values on WeTV. Now, before we meet the entire family, please welcome 6-time Grammy Award winner who has sold over 60 million records worldwide, R&B singer, songwriter, record producer, and actress Toni Braxton. Good to see you. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm great.
Come here. Toni Braxton. Wow.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Well, you look pretty amazing.
Good?
You, I'm looking at this bracelet thing here.
You like?
I like that. I'm wondering if Robin's looking this over pretty
it's
good.
my mom's. Her line is coming out soon,
Yeah.
so this is her little thingy.
Well, good ad.
Yes.
I mean,
Ta-da.
looks pretty good. How are you?
I'm good.
So you weren't crazy about doing this reality series.
No. You know, I was uncomfortable with having people in my space. I'm a bit aloof, and my sisters, they're young in their careers. I've been doing, this is my 20th year anniversary. So for me, having cameras following me around is so invasive. I mean, you're going to follow me going to potty? What are you going to do? Put my boobies on? What are you going to do? So I was uncomfortable with it. More
than a lot of people tell me that this is the most realistic reality show out there.
It's probably 98% accurate.
Yeah.
2% maybe, guys, we need you to walk through the door again.
Yeah.
But it's sometimes too accurate because I'm like, girls, are we really going to talk about that? Really, Trina, you're going to talk about your infidelity on TV? Really, you're cool with that?
Yeah, well, you just did.
I know, right? See, bad sister, bad sister.
See, you got on television and said something. All right, let's meet your sisters, okay?
Okay, let's do that.
Let's bring them out and talk to them. Please welcome Tamar, Tawanda, Tracy, Trina Braxton. Everybody have a seat? All right, so how are y'all?
Great.
Yeah? How you feel about being here?
Amazing.
Yeah?
We love you, though. We're huge fans.
You're huge fans?
Huge fans.
You watched the show?
Yes.
All the time.
Yeah, and you still came. Okay.
You know, when we came because we know you get really real, and our show is really, really real, and we know you care about families and care about, you know, how families relate, and that's the number one thing we care about.
You know, there have been a lot of people that have done reality shows and their families have fallen apart. There's been divorces. Were you worried about that?
Yes.
You are no. You know what it is? This show reality shows forces you to deal with your issues.
Yep.
So even though you may sweep it under the rug, you have to step on that rug sometimes, and that dust kind of rises up. So we have to deal with it.
Your mother actually said that when we were interviewing. She said, you know, maybe through this, it will cause these girls to have to talk about all this.
Yeah, definitely.
We asked you all a million questions, right? And you were very forthcoming, which was great. And I started making a few notes.
Wow. Of course. Of course.
This is my Braxton deck. One of the things you deal with is guilt.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Because my sisters and I were a group, and we did a showcase for Ellie and Babyface, and unfortunately, they're just signed TLC. So they wanted just a solo artist, so they wanted just me. So I've often, in my career, had that feeling like, okay, how can I go forward without my sisters? Will they think I'm leaving them behind? So that's haunted me.
But I don't know why she feels guilty, because, I mean, we're 11 years apart. And so she gonna get up there and, what, sing Do Me Baby Booty and records and stuff like that, and why I'm gonna be doing that on the side?
I'm 5 years older than Tracy, so it was, yeah, but it was,
you know what I'm saying?
I was 20, they were 15, but still I left them.
Do Me Baby?
Do Me,
Records we hear on the records, you know.
Do Me Baby Booty.
Oh, Do Me Baby Booty, okay.
Like she could pop a booty. So.
Yeah, I'm way older than her, and she's older than you, so I'm way out of that. But seriously, did y'all ever feel funny about the fact that you were a group, but she signs and gets big famous?
Never.
No.
Well, you know what? One of the wonderful things that Tony did, though, and Tony, you have to admit this, and you never give yourself credit.
Right.
Tony always made a conscious decision to always take us with her.
Yes.
So maybe subconsciously, that's one of the things that she feels guilty about, is that she always had to share, and she didn't get that limelight by herself.
Right. Maybe that's
it. I'm sorry.
Now, it was another group in this group that somebody was upset about Tracy. And, you know, she felt like...
I was in my feelings. I had every right
you know,
to be in my
because two of them was pregnant at the same time, and Trina was able...
It wasn't the same time.
Sort of, kind of. And Trina was able to go on with the group, and Tracy was not. So she's still upset about that right now, 2012. And that
So you got left behind.
I'm not letting that go.
You got left behind.
Yeah.
Because they went on and did a deal without you.
Right.
Well, that wasn't our fault.
You can see there's some issues.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying we wasn't pregnant.
I'm just saying, you know, got the same support. I mean,
Do you feel attacked by your sisters?
What? Yes. I do.
Because you said that. You said you feel attacked by these four.
I do. You know why? I feel attacked because I'm the person who says what everybody else is thinking.
No, you say whatever's on your mind.
She just has a little bit of Tourette's. She's okay.
Here's a situation with you, this time with Tawanda. Take a look.
When it comes to my children, they come first. It's my son's first day of school, and when I realized that it was going to be a conflict of having rehearsal and then going to see my son, I decided to skip out rehearsal. And I didn't want to tell Tamar because I didn't feel like hearing her mouth, and I knew she was going to make a big deal of it.
Do you feel like you're ready?
I think we definitely need some workerization.
I would boo us. I'd be like, boo!
Tamar, say something.
They need to sit back down.
You are not the boss of me.
I don't think I'm the boss of you.
Sure you do. Sure you do. If you had children, you would understand.
I don't need to have kids to understand.
Yes, you do.
I don't need to have kids
Sure you
to
do.
understand. Like,
Sure
what
you do.
Talking about?
Sure you do.
I understand
No, you
being
don't.
a professional.
Listen, it's about being a mother.
Okay. I mean, listen, do y'all go to neck school and learn how do you...
You would think, right?
A human neck doesn't do that.
No. Yes, it does.
Let me see this move.
Oh, I don't like really doing it, but I mean, it's just, you know, really to get my point across, you understand what I'm talking about. You know, because we were right smack in the middle of rehearsal. And then Tawanda pops up talking about, okay, we need to finish because I got a flight at 12 o'clock. And it's like 9:30. I'm like, hold up. We have a show in 2 days. That's not going to work.
Well, it works for me because I always know my moves.
But that ain't the point. We all have to rehearse together. We are a group.
always knows her moves. Tawanda always comes prepared and leaves prepared and ready to go.
You wasn't prepared because the clothes look like paper mache and felt.
That
That's
wasn't
not
my
true.
fault. I didn't sew that stuff together. That wasn't my fault.
And that was a choreography day. That was not a wardrobe
See,
day.
that's what I'm talking about, gang up on.
Did you just talk about Did you just talk about yourself in the third person?
I did. We do that sometimes, yeah.
All right, well, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to hear from the woman who knows the Braxton sisters the best, their mother, Evelyn. She's asking me to help her daughters finally learn how to grow up. I'm going to let her define that when we come back.
It was very, very difficult to work with Tamar because she always acted out, she had an attitude, she was pissed off all the time. That's the reason why nobody wants to work with her.
Don't just try to pinpoint and say it was just you being horrible in a group, Tamar. Every group you've been in failed because of that attitude of yours. Let's just keep it real.
I think it's just low down to the ground that Tawanda said that everything I do is a failure. That's like me saying her husband trying to be the black Dr. Phil and she trying to be the black Robin. You know, I mean...
Well, we're here with award-winning singer Toni Braxton and her sisters Tamar, Tawanda, Tracy, and Trina Braxton. Now, they star in a reality show based on their life as siblings. It's called The Braxton Family Values, every Thursday night at 9. Now, before we bring out Mom, Evelyn, let's see her interacting with her daughters.
Let me tell you about life. First time in a relationship, you marry for love because you're young, you're inexperienced. But by the time you get my age, you marry for other reasons. Which is? You just don't want to be by yourself. You don't want to grow old by yourself. And just in case you get sick, you got somebody there with you. It's the mindset.
But, Mommy, he's a doctor and a man, so...
Wait a minute, I don't care if he's a doctor and whatever else. It is what it is.
Well, all right, Mom, I got questions for you. Come on out. Have a seat.
Hi, girls.
Hey, Mommy.
Do you really believe that?
What?
When you get to be your age, whatever that is, you don't marry for love?
No, you marry for love the first time. You know, when you're young, you know, you're into it, you know, you think he's the greatest thing since peanut butter and he can do no wrong. And if whatever he does, it's like, oh, baby, forgive me, I love you. You're like, oh, okay. And you go through it over and over again. But by the time you get my age, you're matured, you know life and so on and so forth, and you move on.
Really?
Scorn, maybe?
A little scorn, Mom.
Yes.
Just a little angry.
I'm sorry?
Angry.
Angry?
A little bit.
Why would I be angry, for God's sake?
You would be okay if your daughters grow up and say their husband passes away or goes away or whatever. The second time around, you'd say, hey, you've had the love game. Now just find somebody that's reliable?
I think so. You know what? I mean, no offense, girls. Let's keep it real. I mean, they have love. And look at them. You know, I'm just saying.
She's in love.
I'm just saying.
You're just saying what?
I'm just saying they have love, and look at them. It's always something, for God's sake.
What do you mean, look? Have you been married twice?
I have.
And the second time?
It's still a mess.
But were you in love?
Yes.
Okay, so you love the mess.
No.
Even though it's a mess, you love the mess.
No, I don't love the mess. I love the man, I don't love the mess. Yes, you do. I beg your pardon. She loved the mess because she keep going back to the same mess over and over and over again. And at the end of the day, it's still chicken. It just doesn't matter. Chicken salad, chicken soup, it's chicken. I don't eat chicken.
All right. Trina says that her marriage to her husband, Gabe, went downhill after she found out that he was, her words, cyber unfaithful. Yes. So see what happens when she finds out Gabe put a GPS on her cell phone, even though he was the one who cheated. Take a look.
My phone's acting funny.
Just let your phone go. The iPad, the
I can't let my phone
BlackBerry,
go. I mean, it keeps going to a whole nother screen, and it never did that before.
I think I should come clean about what I did to her phone by putting the GPS software on her phone. I got your phone, and I installed some software on there that allows for me to track everything.
I'm gonna kick his ass. I'm gonna kick his ass so far that he's gonna need a GPS system to find it again. Why do you do that to me, Gabe? Because you're still funky, you still stink, you're still nasty, common, dirty, and low down. That's what it is. You keep checking on me because you're not doing the right thing. That's what that is.
It's not true.
I don't understand why Gabe thinks he should be tracking me. He's the one who cheated. I should be tracking him.
Okay, so how do you feel about the fact that he invaded your privacy in that way?
He did do that. That hurt my feelings really, really, really bad. I thought, Tamar, stay out of it. He asked me. But she didn't tell you that he said that.
Let her tell her story.
What you supposed to do, Tamar?
Okay, I'm trying, but she's not getting to the realness. She didn't tell you that he admitted that he cheated 4 years out of the 7 years they've been married.
Wait, Tamar, you run your mouth and I'm gonna run my business. You can't go on Dr. Phil telling people's business and they didn't tell him themselves.
It's on the show.
Dr. Phil?
Yes.
Like I stated to you before, my husband had a problem with cyber cheating.
For 4 years?
Ish.
Cyber cheating-ish or 4 years-ish?
4 years-ish.
Get it, Dr. Phil, get it.
All right, so cyber cheating is what? He was like, this is like 900 numbers, but with somebody on the internet, he's calling up talking...
No, it wasn't that. You know, Dr. Phil, and I love you, and I think you're wonderful, and I think you're great. But I think that there are certain things between a man and woman, certain things should be divulged, and certain things should be left a secret.
Okay, see, that was one of the best uses of the word but that I've heard in a long time.
Okay,
Because as I've said, but means forget everything I just told you. I'm now going to tell you what I really think.
I'll say however.
You just said, hey, Dr. Phil, I think you're wonderful, but...
However.
So forget that. Now here's what I'm going to tell you. Mind your own damn business. Right? Well, here's what your husband had to say. He sent a statement.
I beg your pardon?
He did.
Why you should have told him.
He said, sometimes she does not care about what she's saying. I feel like she sometimes gets her family too involved in our issues. And I want Dr. Phil to help us learn how to trust each other again and keep family out of our marriage. I hope we continue to stay in our marriage and grow old together.
That's sweet. And see.
Really, that's all it takes? That's all it takes to get out of 4 years of cyber cheating? It's just, gee, I hope we stay together?
I never said that. Dr. Phil, we are working on it. Marriage is a work in progress. You know, there are no perfect marriages. And I realize that mine is not perfect either. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, now, but let me get this right. He cheated on you. You can call it cyber, whatever. He was unfaithful.
Yes,
and sometimes I think it's worse if it's emotional than if it's physical.
Oh, God.
Because there's more vulnerability, more intimacy, more sharing. Okay? So he goes and does that, not just on a bad weekend, but for 4 years-ish. And then he puts a GPS on your phone.
Yes.
Now, you know, there's a theory in psychology that you see in others only what you possess in yourself.
Yourself.
My dad used to say, there's something about that old boy I can't stand about me. And so he's a cheater, so he assumes you're going to cheat.
Are you asking me a question?
Yes.
Tony, why'd you look at me like that? Like I said on the little segment, I feel like since he knew he wasn't doing the right thing, he was imposing what he was doing on me.
What else is he doing to track you?
Well, nothing else that I know of. Did he tell you something that he didn't tell me?
Well, do you think he told you everything he knows?
Well, you guys think there's more stuff?
And do you think the fact that you caught him cyber cheating means that's all he's doing?
I don't know, Dr. Phil.
I'm just asking what your theories are about that. I don't know him.
Well, I'm not the doctor. Dr. Phil, you're the doctor. I don't have any theories.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how I'm doing. I feel like I'm asking pretty good questions myself. Coming up, one of these women is in an open marriage. And one of these women feels that all men cheat except President Obama. We're going to find out who said that and why.
My relationship with Tawanda is this. Tawanda and I love our kids very, very much, and I really want to make this work. But I need for Tawanda to sit down with me and tell me what I really need to do to make this relationship work. I know I haven't been the best husband that I could be, or the best person that I can be. But I want you to do, and I want you to be honest with me. I really, 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 really want to work on this relationship.
You want me to be honest with you?
I want you to be honest with me. Tell me everything that I need to do.
Write this down. Ready? I'm gonna spell it J-O-B.
Job? I read the Bible.
Do you have to be a smartass on every possible occasion?
Job. Okay, do we need to really go through that job situation?
Because it's not just about getting a job. It's about providing. That's what it is. I don't want to be the man in a relationship anymore, and that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling that I'm carrying all the responsibilities, and I don't want that.
Well, the Braxton sisters are all in the house today. Singer Toni Braxton, Tamar, Tawanda, Tracy, Trina, along with their mother, Evelyn. So what is open marriage? Tell me.
Well, my theory is don't ask, don't tell. Because Mommy always taught us that every man cheats except for President Obama, because if he cheated, then everybody would have known about it before he was president.
That's right.
Right.
Think about it.
Sounds crazy, Tawanda.
No, it's true.
And if he didn't cheat, he'll catch up.
That's what Mommy said.
That's
Mommy
not true. But my mother's issues are different. You know, I mean, you need to know the history behind this. Like, my father and my mother were married, what, 35 years? And he had a mistress for 11 years. So by the time she found out about it, you know, now she, you know, are broken up. That's why she feel like the second time she get married, it ain't for love, because she did that and got her feelings hurt.
Take me back to this open marriage. How does that work?
Well,
So y'all don't ask, don't tell.
I don't ask him.
So if he has 5 girls around town, you just don't ask.
I don't ask nothing.
That sounds crazy.
And if you run into him somewhere...
He doesn't go anywhere. He watches the kids.
He brings them home?
No. He doesn't bring anybody home. Nobody can come home to meet my children. No, it's nothing like that.
Okay. Does he have girlfriends that you don't ask about?
I don't know. I don't ask.
I don't get that either. Why?
And you're okay with that?
I'm fine with that.
Do you have boyfriends?
No, I don't have time.
She wouldn't tell on the show, Dr. Phil.
Well, you have don't ask, don't tell with him. You and I didn't make that deal. So I am asking.
No,
so
I don't have.
How is it an open marriage if neither one of you are involved with anybody else? How is it an open marriage?
I'm not. That's what I'm saying. Don't ask, don't tell. I don't know what he's doing. I just know what I'm doing.
So you don't have anybody else in the marriage?
No, just my children.
And he might, you don't know?
No, I don't know.
Well, you know, the fish wouldn't get caught if he wouldn't open his mouth.
That is funny.
Oh, the fish wouldn't get caught. I thought you said the fisherman.
No, the fish would not get caught if he wouldn't open his mouth. So some things you have to reserve for yourself. You don't have to put everything out there.
Fish open their mouth because they have to breathe, and that's what you're saying about men, is men have to cheat just like they have to breathe.
I don't understand that.
Well, every man cheat anyway except Obama. And I'll tell you why Obama because when Obama was running for the president of the United States, they turned over every log, they turned over every stone. And if that man was unfaithful, they would have found it. But they didn't. I mean, let's keep it real.
Well, I'm glad to hear that about him, because that means there are 2 of us.
All right.
Well done, Chief. Well, we got to take a break, and then I'm going to find out what question each one of them have for me when we come back.
I get checked every 5 minutes. You need to take it. Come on, if you don't want nobody talking to you like this, that, and other, you need to. I get beat up all the time. In a minute, I say something to somebody.
You have to accept as your mouth. They told you since you were 16 years old, your mouth. That's indigenous. That's who you are.
But I can take that as me getting beat up. Every 5 minutes, somebody telling me about my mouth. Well, then stop using your mouth like that. I mean, why is everybody Baby and Tracy? Business is business. You have to learn dictatorship and direction from somebody, and now everybody jumping down my throat for trying to help her? I mean, I don't even know what's up with that. Oof.
Well, R&B singer, songwriter, and producer and actress Toni Braxton is here today with her outspoken sisters, Tamar, Tawanda, whom you just saw in the clip, Trina, Tracy, and the matriarch of their family, Evelyn. You do talk a lot, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And it's about 60 words a minute with Gus to 100.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I mean, is Tamar really the family drama queen, or is she just defending herself, or both? Here's a situation between Tracy and Tamar. Take a look.
Tony asked me to whip up the girls for her show in Indianapolis that's coming up in 4 days. And I used to sing background for Tony, and I was hot. They not.
If you're the choreographer, you have to be in front of me to show me.
Tracy, don't.
I'm telling you the truth.
5, 6, 7. You're a little bit too, what's the word?
Okay, I don't have a waistline. I gotta make everything look bigger.
That's not my fault either. But I'm just saying.
I never asked you that, Tamar. I never asked you that.
But you just said it.
I said I have to make it look bigger.
Yeah, but that's not my fault.
Tamar,
Okay.
keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
I am. You know, for some reason, when I give advice or, you know, lessons, it's taken, you know, like I'm trying to tell you what to do. Although I'm trying to tell you what to do, it's for your own good. That didn't come out right.
So who's the drama queen here?
Tamar.
No.
Mommy.
Sometimes Trina. Trina likes drama. I beg your pardon?
Are you a drama queen?
No, I'm not a drama queen.
No, come on.
Well, you know, I'm a little dramatic. However, you know, I don't like drama. I just want to tell you the truth, and let's just keep it moving.
Well, several of the sisters say you give unwanted advice.
Well, yes, I do. I'm the oldest, so I've been here the longest, so I do think I know a little bit more.
But hers is taken differently than mine.
It's because the delivery.
Yes, your delivery
We
is
can't hear
horrible.
barking all the time. We can't hear that. We kind of shut down when we hear barking.
So questions for me. I'll start with you, somebody in the back row. Question for me.
I'll start. How do you and Robin keep a successful relationship while being in the public eye?
I do what I'm told. No, what would you say about that? How do we keep a successful relationship in the public eye? We've been married 35 years.
Yes.
We've been together for 40 years.
I think it's...
We have 2 boys, Jay and Jordan, and 2 grandchildren, London and Avery.
Yes.
So the family's growing. How do we stay happily married for 35 years?
I think it's because we never forget that what we have together, and we don't let anyone or anything invade what we have. We keep it personal all the time. We keep each other #1 in our lives, and we really never, ever listen to anyone else.
I think there's a point at which the 2 of you have to sit down and define, this is the formula that works for us. And we either believe in it or we don't. And if we do, then we share things with each other that we don't share with anybody else on the face of the planet. Not just intimacies, but, you know, beliefs and values and things that you talk about. And your partner should know things about you that nobody else knows. Because you're not really, truly intimate with somebody until they have entered your private reality and seen who you really are when nobody's watching, nobody's looking. So, I mean, that's a real key. And if you don't have that, then you're letting somebody else tell you who you are and how you feel. And we just don't do that. And we were that way before we got here, and we stayed that way since. We've been here 10 years now, and, you know, we do live a pretty insular life, though. We're pretty private.
Yes, and I have to say also, to give you credit, and really credit to both of us, because we both do the same thing, but this man truly, every day that I've known him for 40 years, has always made it a point to let me know how much he loves me and how much he appreciates me and does not take me for granted. So I can honestly say that I go to bed every night and I know I am loved by this man.
All right, Carla, would you put that on a loop and give me Well, we're going to do an exercise. I would like each Braxton sister and their mother to, #1, write down one thing that they'd like the sister they fight with the most to stop doing. #2, write down what they want the person to start doing. And #3, write down what they appreciate and want her to continue doing. And we've even made cards for all to fill in. All right, we're going to reveal their answers when we come back. During the break, I gave the Braxton sisters and their mother an assignment that I call Stop, Start, Continue. Now, it sounds like a dance, but it's not. I asked the Braxtons to each write down one thing that they would like the sister that they fight with or have the most conflict with to stop doing. Then write down what they want that person to start doing. And lastly, write down what they appreciate and want her to continue doing because they value it. Simple enough, right? So let's talk about the results. So who did you write down?
My sister I have the most conflict with is Trina.
Oh, okay. Were you surprised that she picked you?
No, because I picked Tony.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. All right, so what did you say you wanted her to stop doing?
Gabe, the band, and drinking.
You want her to stop doing Gabe. So you want him out.
Right.
You want her to dump the band?
She's in a band.
Huh?
She's like a wedding singer.
I'm not a wedding singer.
And you want her to stop drinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those three.
Then that would change your relationship.
Yes.
And what do you want her to start doing?
Her own music.
Her own music.
She's in a band. Like, really, you could hire Trina to sing at your wedding.
Dr. Phil's event or something.
Or bar mitzvah, anything. She does weddings and everything. Which is good, but I think she's past that. It's a good way to get started, get introduced to the business and how to do shows and be an artist. But she should do her own music now.
Which I am.
Is there something wrong with singing at a wedding? Or you just think it's beneath her talent?
It's very local.
Well,
It is not very local. Super talented. They are super talented. The musicians are incredible. They are A-list musicians. Unfortunately, everyone lives C.
Okay, and what do you want her to continue?
No, the band. No, everyone's the whole band. They're bringing everybody down because they're so past what they are. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? They're like in a cesspool now. They don't know how to get out, and everyone's so talented above what they do. To me, I don't think that's a negative thing. Is that negative?
No, that's not negative. You're saying she has the resources to be able to sing her own music.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm doing, though.
Okay, what'd you say you wanted her to continue?
Her schooling, because she really wants to be a doctor.
So, but that you have conflict with her, and that's all about career. You didn't say anything about her relationship with you.
Because we bump it. I try to give her advice all the time.
That's what
she hates.
What did you write down? What do you want her to stop doing?
I wanted her to stop giving unsolicited advice.
All right, point
Okay, but I solicited this advice.
Yes.
All right, what do you want her to start doing?
Well, I gave you two.
Okay.
Number one, I want you to start listening without speaking.
Okay.
Because sometimes we need a listening ear.
You're right. You're right.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I also want you to start appreciating yourself more.
Yes.
And stop doubting yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I want you to stop saying, oh, no, I'm just Toni Braxton. No, you are Toni Braxton.
But you know what, because I have lupus.
A superstar.
And sometimes I have bad days, have good days, and because I have the illness, I feel like people don't, like if I started dating, like who's going to want to date a sick lupus girl who's sick all the time? So it's that moment in my life that I always...
But you're not
I don't feel my best all the time. But
Well, you manage it very well and very actively, right?
But it's just everyone has negative
And who would want to date?
A fabulous,
Yeah, I think
wonderful
I could get you taken care of in a short amount of time.
Exactly.
I want her to continue to give good advice, but only when asked.
Okay, so wait for you to come to her and say, hey, will you help me out here?
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
who'd you pick?
Tamar.
Always.
Or she picked her.
Tamar.
So what is it you want her to stop doing?
Talking.
Okay. All right. All right, what do you want her to start doing?
Being quiet.
All right. And what do you want her to continue to do?
Being a loving sister. She is a wonderful, loving sister. She will give you the shirt off her back. She is a wonderful, wonderful sister.
All right, who'd you pick?
Tamar.
Monster?
Yeah. And what do you want her to stop doing?
Talking.
Talking. All right, what do you want her to start doing?
Being positive. Staying on the positive road when she talks to her sisters and, you know, real constructive.
I'm not positive.
It just needs a filter.
And what do you want her to continue doing?
Being a sister and a friend.
Okay. So actually, they like what you offer. They just think you are noisy. Okay. All right, what did you write down, Mom?
You know what? The only thing, I really couldn't think of a lot, and I don't like to get in the middle of the sisters' stuff. But the conflict, I did put Tamar. Now, the reason, let me explain myself. Jesus. The reason I put Tamar name down is because all 4 of the girls have conflicts with Tamar. Whenever anything goes down, you can guarantee that Tamar is somewhere in the middle of it. And that's kind of, that bothers me a bit. So that's what I put a name down. And the last one, I didn't put anything in the middle. I just wish they continued to love each other and work together.
Well, so Tamar made a lot of short lists around here. I wonder what she wrote down. We'll find out after the break.
My husband has, I mean, I'm serious, the #1 selling female artist in the world, and it ain't me. And I'm here in Bermuda singing doo-wop, pop, pop with Tony Braxton. That's where I'm at. So I'm just like, .com.
Let's tell the truth about it. I gave you a contract 6 months ago. Where's it at? I can't work with somebody that's not signed to me. I can't just sit around and make a deal with you and you ain't do the proper pick, whether you're my wife or not. It's business. You don't know how to separate the two. You told me you want to put a clause in there that you come out in a year. You can't do that. It doesn't
you
work
could at
that
least
way.
put me on a record with Gaga singing,
You can't do that.
Singing some type of hook or something.
You can't do
like,
that.
What do you mean?
What does that mean?
You own a very lucrative record
and that has
label.
nothing to do with nothing. You can't put you on a record singing with Gaga. That is Gaga's career. That's her business. And that's the problem with you. You're worrying about everybody else. Worry about yourself.
You are really being over the top.
It's not over the top.com. It's called, you know what it is? It's the truth.com, and you don't want to accept that.
What'd you write down?
Well, I had the most conflict with Tawanda, Tracy, Trina, and Tony.
So did you add that at the break?
Well, actually, I had 2 of them. Then I was like, I'm not going to pick on the 2 people, but I just decided to add all of them because they really do need to listen to me more. So I want them to stop jumping from side to side because they do that. Like, nobody wants to group me when I'm right. And so I said, I want them to start picking a side, which is the right side, me, and listening to the advice that I'm giving them because it's really out of love. It really is. And I want them to continue to being cool and keeping secrets.
See?
Yeah. Okay, so basically you want them to stop disagreeing with you.
And agree with her.
Start agreeing with you and keep secret what you tell them.
Well, I don't think I know everything, right? So my sisters are in, like, I like to say they're in troubled marriages. I was also in a horrible, horrible relationship before my husband, too. But I got up, you know, I dusted my knees off, and I found somebody who I felt like deserved to be with me, and I deserve to be with them. And I'm just telling them that there is happiness. You can go and find happiness. You don't have to be stuck in being miserable. That's it. Sorry.
Well, no, that's okay.
Yeah, that's just where it's all coming from.
But see, here's the thing. Would you like a little Dr. Phil advice?
Yes. I need it, probably.
See, your goal when you have a disagreement with somebody should not be for them to cave in and agree with you. Your goal should be for them to understand you.
That's true.
And then you just leave that with them. It's like, my goal is I want you to understand me, and then I'll let you make up your own mind, and I will respect your right to do that, even if it's different from what I said. I just want to be sure you understand me.
I do.
And then once you understand me, then I'm done. I'll let you do whatever you want to do. But that's not how you approach it. You approach it as a competition.
I do?
I love Dr.
Like, what you mean?
Yes. What do you mean, what do I mean?
Like, what do you mean a competition?
A competition. You go into it and say, somebody's right and somebody's wrong, and the somebody that's right is me, and the somebody that's wrong is you, and as soon as we get that understood, we'll get along fine.
Awesome.
Okay? Now, a lot of the time, you may actually be right.
Yeah.
Because you do seem to have their best interest at heart.
I do.
But how's that working for you? I mean, they are running the other way as fast as they can.
Fast, like the gingerbread man.
I mean, they look at you like a bad rash.
They do.
All right, so that means it's not working. You got to kind of.
That's great advice. I'm going to start doing that because,
Okay.
you know.
Well, I'm not talking past the close. Good. We'll be right back. You had one last question?
So if I come to them and the way that you're talking about, and we get in an argument, how do I know that they understand where I'm coming from and it's not coming from, you know, that...
You just ask them to say, tell me what you hear me saying. And if they give it back to you accurately, say, my work here is done. I hope you make the right choice.
I will be.
Don't tell him to say my work here is done.
Please tune in to the WE TV hit reality series, Braxton Family Values, every Thursday night at 9. Thanks to all my guests today. So long.